What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. Today we're going to be flying the PMDG 737 from the Ronald Reagan Washington DC airport to Boston Logan International. We're going to be flying American Airlines 2145, which was originally flown in a A320. I didn't see any 737s that did this route, but I wanted to do it in a 737, so I'm doing it in 737. I haven't done anything in the plane. I think we have relatively clear weather all the way through. I don't think I've ever actually even flown out of this airport in the game at all. So we'll go ahead and jump inside the plane and we can start our pre-flight checklist. By the way, real quick, this is going to be our route. Pretty easy route. We are flying a departure off of runway 19 and a swan transition, and we're going to be flying an arrival onto runway 27, the Roebuck 3, and the JFK transition. So should be a pretty good flight. I think we'll fly right over New York. I don't know how much of it you'll see, but we'll take a look out the window when we get there. I do have the big New York scenery, so we'll see what happens. But right now, first thing we got to do is we got to make sure our parking brake is set, which it is. We'll go to the overhead panel. We'll get our battery switch toggled on. Our electric hydraulic pumps can come on, and we can get established on our ground power. We'll go ahead and jump down here, make sure our landing gear lever is down, and we have 3 green lights, which we do. We'll do our APU and fire warning tests. Make sure we get an overheat warning up here. We got 2 signals down here. We'll go ahead and extinguish that, and we'll flick this over to the right. Make sure everything lights up. Got all the alarms. We'll extinguish the alarm and the master caution. Lights will go out. Everything looks good. We can test these lights over here just to make sure these are working. We are good there. And we can move on to our position lights and our wing lights. Position lights are already on. We'll go ahead and toggle on our wing lights. Our engine bleed switches are already on. We'll set these to nav. Yaw damper will turn on in a little bit. Emergency exit lights, no smoking, and seatbelt signs. All the way down. There we go. Seatbelt signs can come on. We'll jump down here. Flap lever is forward. Speed brake lever is also down. Galley switch. Jump back up here, right here. Galley switch is on. Window heats can come on. And we are ready to start programming. Probe heats will stay off. We're ready to start programming our flights. We'll jump in here. First thing we'll do is FS actions and head over to payload. And our zero fuel weight today is going to be 111.9. So we'll go ahead and set that in zero fuel weight. We'll go ahead and clear that message out. We'll go to return. We'll head over to fuel. And our block fuel today is 14,110. Drop that in there. We'll go return FMC, and we'll head over to position in it. We are at KDCA. That's going to be our reference airport. We'll go ahead and go to the next page, grab our GPS left, and drop that in here. And we'll head over to route KDCA to KBOS. Drop that in there. Our flight number again is American Airlines 2145. We'll put that in here. We're departing runway 19. Put that in here, and we'll head to the next page, and we'll start putting in our waypoints. After our departure and our swan, we're going to swan transition. So what is on here? SWANN. SWANN. From Swan, we're going to Bross, BROSS. Whoop, BROSS. And then from there, we're jumping on Quebec 419, just Q419. We'll drop that in there. We're taking that to pretty far, all the way to JFK. The JFK transition. So that's pretty much our flight plan. We go activate, execute. We're going to go over to our legs. Departing is going to be runway 19, the Suki 5, and the Swan transition. So we'll go departing. We'll look for Suki 5, excuse me, Swan transition, runway 19, execute. Depart and arrive. Arrivals, we're doing runway 27, Roebuck 3, and the JFK. So runway 27, we're going to look for the Roebuck 3. For 27, Roebuck 3, 27, JFK transition, ILS 27, Execute. All right, we'll head to legs. We're gonna jump back here. We're gonna set this to plan mode. And we're gonna step through this, make sure everything looks right. Make sure everything's good here. Looks good to me. And then here we'll make that left turn manually onto our waypoint to line up for final. All right, everything looks good there. So we'll jump back down here. We'll head over to init ref. And we're going to do our zero fuel weight again, which is 111.9. We'll drop that in here. We did 0.5 in reserves. Our cost index today is going to be 20. And let's see what our cruise wins. What are we even cruising at, actually? We're at 29,000. We're not even up that high today. So we'll put 290. And let me grab our cruise wins. 290, 233,036. 233,036. We'll drop that in there. We'll hit execute. We'll go to M1 limit. Takeoff configuration 1. We'll head over to takeoff. We're gonna do flaps 5. Get our trim 5.4. We'll head over here to figure out what our MEDAR is here. If it works. It didn't work in my last video. Yeah, no MEDAR available. I don't know why it's doing that, but that's okay because I have it on my other monitor here. So we're looking at 190 at 11. 190 gusting 11. We'll go ahead and head back. We'll do V1, VR, and V2. 132 is going to be our departing speed. So we'll go ahead and set that right now. 132. And we'll jump back down here. I think that's everything we need to do on here. So we'll go ahead and head back to the legs page. And we can start putting in a little more information. We're going to be at 29,000. We'll put that up here. 29,000. Let's figure out what runway 19 is in heading. 19 is going to be 187. So we'll set this to 187. All right, we're going to go up above here. We're going to set this to 29,000 as well. And we can leave this at 0 because we're at 14 feet above sea level. So we don't have to do anything with that. Jump back down here. Let's grab our course and everything. Also, we need to put in our barometer, which is 3009. We'll set that now. 3009. There we go. All right, let's take a look at our chart here. We're going to head over to Boston, runway 27. Here we go. 111.3 on the localizer, 272 on the heading, and 460 on the landing barometer. So let's get all that information put in now. We'd normally do that in the plane or in the air once ATC confirmed our landing runway, but we're going to do it now. 111.3. Switch that. Switch that. Our final approach course is going to be 272. Do that on both. There we go, 272. Looks good to me. And then our landing barometer is going to be 460. So let's see if we can get this up to 460. There we are. Okay, I don't think I'm forgetting anything. I think we're ready to start our before start check. So FMC is programmed. Flight directors 1 and 2 can come on. Auto throttle switch will stay off. High AS Mach indicator set. Heading selector is set. Altitude selector is set. Autopilot disengage bar is down. Thrust levers are idle. Stabilizer trim was, what was it? 5.46. So right about there. Auto brakes can be set to RTO, rejected takeoff. APU can come on. So go ahead and start our APU. We can set this to standby and we can run a test on it as well. While we're doing that, we can run these tests. Very good. While we wait for our APU to come up, our TCAS test There we go. We'll take a look at our chart here and figure out where we need to taxi to. So we are right here. We'll back out. We'll jump on Juliet. We'll cross runway 15 at Juliet and line up at, I guess here, because this is Hold Bay 19. I guess we'll line up here, not at Sierra. Yeah, okay. That's what we'll do. Let me move this back over. There we go. All right, is our APU ready yet? Let's go overhead here. It is. We'll go ahead and get our APU bleed switch turned on. Our APU generator switches, 1 and 2. We are now off the ground power and on our APU. So before pushback checks, let's check our fuel real quick. Looks like we're not using our center tank today, so we can go ahead and set our fuel pumps to 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we don't need to use our center tank today. APU generator switches are on. Seatbelt signs are confirmed. Flight doors and windows are locked. Anti-collision lights can come on and ground equipment can get disconnected. So we'll head over to menu, FS actions, ground services, remove wheel chocks. And we'll head back to legs. And we're just about ready for our pushbacks. So we'll go ahead and clear that. We can go ahead and start our pushback here. Let me see. I think we're gonna want a right wing view. We'll push back to that line there. We'll jump back in here. We'll release the parking brakes. We'll go ahead and start our pushback. We'll go ahead and set this to the right ignition today, and we will set it to ground. And we'll take a look at the engines here, and we will introduce fuel at around 20, 21, 22, somewhere in that range. We'll get these engines started. All right, there we go. We go to introduce fuel. There we go. Fuel's coming in. Should be pushing back here in just a minute. There we go. I'll have to see if there's a scenery for this airport, because I have the default scenery. It'd be nice to have a better scenery. All right, that engine is coming to life. We'll wait for that to click off, and then we'll get our second engine going. All right, we'll get a second engine going. $13, $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20, $21. We'll give it some fuel. Take a look out here. Keep pushing back just a little bit more. While we're waiting, we'll get our yaw damper turned on, if I can see the switch. There we go. All right, so we'll go ahead and stop our pushback here. Whoa, we jolt forward. A weird little glitch we get. We'll go ahead and toggle our parking brakes back on. We will wait for our engines to stabilize and for this to click off, and then we'll move on to our after start checks, which is going to be going on our engine generators. Let's jump up here. That should be clicking off here any second now. Looks like this just came on, so we're good there. There it goes. All right, engine generator switch 2, engine generator switch 1. We are now off of our APU and onto our generator. APU bleed switch can come off, and APU can come off as well. Probe heat switches 1 and 2 can come on. Master caution system recall. Both sides, we are good. Engine anti-ice we're not going to use. Packs can go to auto. Isolation valve can go to auto. Transponder can be set to squawk mode C, which is TARA. Taxi lights can come on. Runway turnoff lights can come on. Flaps can be set to 5. I have a button for that, so 1, 2, 3. That'll set it to 5 degrees. Flight controls, left, right, forward, back, rudder. We're all set for taxi. So we'll go ahead and release our brakes here. Give ourselves a little bit of throttle. We'll go full right rudder, get ourselves turned to the right here. And we'll see if we can't make our way down to Juliet. Come on. There it goes. See if we can't make our way down to Juliet and get ourselves up in the air. Come on, give a little more throttle. There we go. All right, so we're gonna take this taxiway right here, and we're gonna jump on it right here. I believe is the one that we want. Oh, so we'll take this, we'll zigzag around and then cross. There we go. All right, so we're gonna follow this taxiway. The runway is pretty much right there. It's not very far. We have a relatively short taxi today, which is nice. But if you guys are enjoying this, definitely hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Hit that like, leave a comment if there's anything you want to say, and I'll try to keep pumping these videos out for you guys. I'm excited for the colder weather, you know, because we'll have to start using the engine anti-ice, and we can fly into places that have like snow and stuff like that now that the season's finally changing. I think that'll be fun. All right, so we're gonna cross this runway right here. It's runway 15. We're going to cross this, and then we will pretty much be at our runway once we get across here. There we are. You can see some of the city out there. Or maybe it's part of the airport. I don't even know. All right, so before takeoff checks, we can get our auto throttle turned on. We can get our engine start switches set to continuous. Strobe lights can come on now that we're getting closer to the runway here, and we'll turn landing lights on. Now, normally you would do this on the runway. I'm doing this slightly early, but that's only because I'm literally about to get on the runway. So this is where we're going to get on right here. So we're going to pull right out. And we'll be good to go. Start our right turn. Do a hard right turn here. And there we are. And we are ready for departure. So we'll go ahead and hit our toga switch. We'll keep the nose down. We'll listen for our call outs and V speeds. A little bit of right rudder. Cross check.
V1. Rotate.
Rotating. A little bit of right rudder.
Positive rate of climb.
We'll gear up. Beautiful departure. Keep the nose down a little bit. We'll bring our flaps up some. And flaps can come all the way in. We're gonna start a left-hand turn. We can go ahead and go VNav, LNav, and toggle on our autopilot at that point. There we go. Let that start our left-hand turn. We'll bring our gear to the down position. And our flaps are all the way in. We can go ahead and jump into a wing view here. Let you guys see out here real fast. Beautiful departure. No turbulence, no wind, nothing crazy today. Didn't throw us around off a takeoff there. All right, so we need to get our taxi light switches turned off. This can be set back to the off position. And everything else looks good for now, so we'll go back into a wing view. Should be starting a left turn here in just a second. There are some, I think, flight air restrictions, like places you can't fly around here because of the White House and everything. So we got to fly down a little bit. Here we go, starting that left turn. Beautiful departure. Look at all the highways out there. It's crazy. It reminds me of city skylines, man. Making highways and city skylines is, for me, it's such a pain. Let's jump back up here for a second, make sure everything's good. 6,500. We'll take a look out the window. There's the airport we just took off of. There's one of the monuments. Probably the White House down here and everything. Got the Pentagon right there. All right, we're gonna start another left turn here in just a second. We're coming up on 8,000 feet, looking for 10,000. We can start our climb checks, which is landing lights come off. We'll do that in a second. Engine start switches can be set back to the off position, and we can go ahead and toggle off our seatbelt signs. And we're at 9,000 feet. We're cleared above 10. We'll go ahead and get our landing lights turned off. There we go. Again, that's the airport right there we just took off of, the runway we just took off of. Actually, we went this way. Beautiful. Over 10,000 feet. Looks like we're doing good. Let's look at our Roebuck 3 arrival on my other screen here. I want to see our altitudes. Down to 5,000 over there. 27. 1,700. Okay. All right, looking good so far. Climbing up over 12,500. See downtown Washington, D.C. right there. Again, the Pentagon is right here where my mouse is. I think the White House and everything's like right around here. What is this? Oh, we were flying slow. Whoops. I didn't catch that the VNAV didn't toggle on, so we're flying at a very low rate of speed. So now we're going to pitch down to get our speeds up. Did not mean to do that. I'm surprised I didn't have any stall warnings going off. I was probably getting close to it because I was slow. We should not have been flying like that. That's all right. The plane pitched down. It's going to get our speeds back up. And we'll be up at our speed in no time. Coming up on 15,000. Speeds are at 240. So speeds definitely came back very quickly. All right, coming up on our speeds. Plane will start climbing again. There we are. Very healthy climb rate. Everything is looking good. Look out the window here. All right, 16,500 we're coming up on. Should be a pretty easy flight. I mean, we're flying up right over New York. I mean, one of our transitions is JFK, which is directly over New York. So that should be cool. Coming up on 17,000. At 18,000, we'll set our transition to standard mode, or our barometer to standard mode, and we'll jump into the front window view for the time lapse, which we're coming up on right about now. We'll go ahead and switch this over to standard mode. Go ahead and jump in the window. I'll catch you guys when we are closer to our descent. Hope you guys enjoy the flight. Guys, welcome back. We actually have started our descent. Our descent path is actually a little bit early in this, so a lot earlier than I think it should be. This is where we are on our arrival. We just entered our arrival. The flight went fine. Everything was nice and smooth, but this is a long arrival. So we're gonna just fly it. Maybe I'll throw it back into a time lapse. I'm not sure yet. But we do need to do some things. Make sure we are on our descent path and we are exactly where we should be. Yeah, everything looks good. We can start our descent checks, which seatbelt signs can come on since we're going to start descending here. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. Auto brakes, or no, we're not there yet. Seatbelt signs, air conditioners and pressures are good. Transition altitude ATIS. Engine start switches, we'll set those back to continuous shortly, but for now, let's jump back down here. We'll go to init ref, and we're going to be doing 30 at 130 knots, which means 135 is going to be our landing speeds. We'll head back over to the legs. Looks like we're holding an altitude of 23,000 for about 20 miles. So I'll go ahead and kick it back into a time lapse here, and I'll jump back once we're a little bit closer, and I'll see you guys then. Back, we're at 16,000 feet. I went ahead and switched it into standard mode, or I guess we got to switch it out of standard mode. Our altimeter is 3013, so we'll go ahead and set that to 3013. There we are, which puts us a little bit above our descent path, but we're pretty much getting right back onto it. Here we are on our approach. So last time we spoke, we were right about here. If we're getting a little bit closer, the airport is right here. We're going to be flying around and we're going to be landing on this diagonal runway right here. So we're just going to continue following our descent path down. Our engine start switches can be set to continuous. What else we got? ATIS FMC we've already done. What was our landing speed? It was 135. That's right. Okay. Looks like we're doing good. We're at 15,000 feet. We're continuing our descent. Airport should be off to our left a little bit, probably up in that direction, somewhere in this direction. But it looks like we're doing good on our descent. We're right on our descent path. We don't have any speed issues as far as I can see. So everything is going good. Once we hit that 10,000 mark, we'll do our approach checks. I have us set down to 5,000 feet for now, which was the bottom of our approach. Now after that, runway 27, we want to head down to 1,700. So I'll probably set this to, let's go ahead and set this down to 3,000. And that's in between the 5,000 and the, the 1,700 roughly. So we'll be at 5,000 around here, and then we'll come down to 4 to 3 to 1,700. We'll intercept the ILS and we'll put her down. Should be pretty easy. Here's a wing view. You can always tell when you're in the Northeast, or the New England states. I don't know what's below us. What is that below us? Providence? That's Providence, Rhode Island right there. I assume that's Rhode Island, right? Providence? Maybe not. I don't know, but it's Providence. I know that. All right, down to 13,700. I don't think we put any fixes in today, did we? No. All right, so the airport is up there. Let's go ahead and get our fixes put in. Fix KBOS. Drop that in here. /5 and /10. We'll be able to see those. We can get some button lights going. I mean, I know we don't really need them, but you could definitely tell that it's getting, the sun's closer to setting. How do I turn these ones down? There we go. We don't need those ones on. All right, so we have some button lights going. We jump down here. We could turn the panel lights on here too if we want. And up here, we can get some panel lights right here. I can see just fine, but you could tell that the sun is definitely, you know, on the brink of setting. I'm going to turn these floodlights off. We don't need those. But we can leave the panel button lights on. There we go. All right, down to 12,600. And the airport's going to be, I don't think, no, I'm not flying towards it right now. So it's off to the left. Up there. I think it's like right there. And I do have the Boston scenery. I'm not sure if because I did a reinstall of the game. I'm not sure if I put it back in or not, but we will find out momentarily. This will be on the ground within the next 10 minutes, I'd say. We're getting pretty close. All right, engines are coming down, speeds are coming down a little bit. Down to 11,900. We can go ahead and get our landing lights turned on. Get our auto brake set to 2. Master caution recall. We are good. We're good on both sides. Let's go ahead and change this screen over here. And there's our descent rate. Our descent profile. Speed brake, we go ahead and arm that for now. I'm gonna close that off, shut that off. All right, so we need flaps, landing gear, and taxi light switches, and we're ready for landing. So pretty much we're just waiting to get up to this point right here, and then we're gonna do a manual direct to this waypoint right here, and that'll line us right up with the runway. We'll be down on the ground in no time. There's our fixes, as you can see. So about 30 miles out from the airport. Maybe 40, a little more. But yeah, the airport's definitely right over, either here or here. I forget which spot. I think here. So we're going out over the water and looping around, as you can see right here. And then we're doing a direct to, and we're going to land on this diagonal runway right here. So there you are. I'm gonna pull up the taxi chart for this runway and see where we're gonna taxi. All right, so we're landing on this runway right here, 27, which we literally just take to the end, hop on Mike, Kilo, and then right into the terminals. Sweet. I love when you don't have to taxi a lot. It makes it so much better. But we will have to clear the runway. Why is it doing that? All right, there we are at 10,000 feet. Go ahead and go into a window view. You can see some runway lights over there. Nice sunset so far. It looks beautiful out. Everything looks good so far. No alerts, alarms, or whistles or anything. What is our heading for the runway that we're landing on? It's going to be 272. Let's go ahead and set that to 272. Starting to get some of the runway lights over there. So we'll start that left turn in a couple miles, 6 miles, and then we'll be getting ready to be on final. I mean, I guess that will pretty much be our base turn. We'll set up for final. Might get a view of the sun. We're definitely going to be flying into the sun, I'm pretty sure. All right, come on, start that left turn in about 3 miles. We could put another fix in if we want to. We could do like a 20-mile fix. Unable 250%. 250. There you go. And there's that turn. And we're right at that 20-mile mark pretty much. Look at the sun glare right off of the wing there, off of the wing and the engine. That looks awesome. And there it is. There's the sun. All right, so we're flying this. Once we hit that next waypoint, we'll do our direct to. And we'll intercept with our runway. There's the airport over there. What a beautiful time of day to land, that's for sure. Colors in the sky and everything, it looks so good. Zoom this in a notch. About 10 miles to go where we hit that next waypoint. It's beautiful flying out over the water and seeing that sun hit the water like that. Another 7 miles. As soon as we hit that waypoint, we'll make that turn. We go ahead and prepare it. We'll put it up here. Not quite ready for it yet, though. We'll hit execute once we hit that waypoint in about 5.7 miles. All right, 3 miles to go. We're almost there. Still on our descent path. Looks like our speeds are starting to come down. We can go ahead and throw in some speed brakes to help our speeds follow that path. I do see our localizer diamond down here, so we do have that. We can go ahead and go direct to now. So we'll execute this. Start that left turn. I don't know why our speeds are going back up. No, we're gonna introduce some flaps, which will help our speeds to come down now that we're on that turn. We'll toggle on our localizer here in just a second. We're gonna try and get established on that. We can actually probably do that now. So there we are. Look at that. Look how beautiful that looks. Add another notch of flaps. Get our speeds down. Up in the plane, slow down a little bit. There's a wing view. Keep our speed brakes on. We do have both of our diamonds for our glide slope and our localizer. We can set this down to 20, what was it, 1700, 2700? I think it was 1700. All right, looks like our speeds are down. Put the plane pitch back down, catch up to our glide slope. Localizer is armed, our VOR localizer, it's looking for it, so we should get established on that here momentarily. And we'll go ahead and arm our speed brakes. Looks like we're good. Go ahead and get our taxi light and runway turn-off lights turned on. No, we'll keep this at about... We could probably keep this at 3,000, to be honest. About 15 miles from the runway. So we should be getting established on the localizer any minute now. One more notch of flaps. See the diamond coming in now, so we should lock onto that. There it is. There's our lock, and we'll go ahead and toggle on approach mode, and we'll start looking for, we set this back to 3,000. We'll start looking for the glide slope. But a nice 17-knot crosswind, or headwind almost. That's why we're flying a little bit crabbed. There we go, right on the glide slope. We're locked on to both. Wait till we get a little bit closer. We'll drop our gear. We'll go full flaps. We can now manage our speeds, which was what for landing? I don't remember. 135. We'll bring this down to let's say 143 for now. Once we hit that 5-mile ring, we'll go ahead and drop our gear, go full flaps. Got the runway right there in front of us.
Radio altimeter.
Starting to see the skyline clipping in. Go ahead and toggle on the second autopilot here. Onto a dual channel landing. It's a single channel though. We got a 20-knot headwind. There we are, coming up on our 5-mile mark. Go ahead and drop our gear. We'll go ahead and fully configure our flaps. There we are, flaps fully set. Looks like we fell off our glide slope a little bit, so we're pitching. There we go. Runway's directly in front of us. Skyline's directly in front of us. I can make for a good screenshot right there. Wait till we get a little closer. Speeds can come down. We'll bring them down to about 132. Grab a screenshot right there. 1,000. Still 14 knot headwind. Wow, what a beautiful arrival. Look at this. It's beautiful. All right, bring our speeds down to 130.
Approaching minimums.
All right. Hands are on the controls.
Minimums.
Landing. And we are down. We'll go ahead and go reverse thrust. Kicking that right rudder. Wow, we fell way off center line there. Try and get back over to the center line if we can. There we go. Go ahead and turn our reverse thrust off. All right, and we will get off right here if we can. Yep, autopilot disengaged, I know. Let's make sure everything's good there. All right, we'll pull off of the runway here and we will do our after landing checks. Pretty good landing. Went a little bit to the left after we touched down, but that's all right. We managed to grab control. All right, so after landing checks, landing lights can come off. Landing lights off. Strobe lights can be set to steady. Taxi lights are on. Flaps can be set back to normal. I have a button for that, so we'll do that. Speed brake can be set to normal. Engine start switches can go to the off position. And our APU can be started. And we could also set our TCAS to standby. All right. We are pretty much going to taxi straight ahead here. Straight and then to the left a little bit. And our terminals will be right over there. But we are good to go. Beautiful time of day to land. Great landing. Great approach. Definitely enjoyed that. All right, so this is Mike. We're gonna cross runway 4 left right here. And there we are. We're gonna take this right. Excuse me. And then we're gonna take this left. There we go. And then we'll take this right, and we could taxi right into this terminal right here. Which is exactly what we'll do. And I definitely do have the scenery installed here. That's why it looks so beautiful. Great looking scenery. So go ahead and slow down as we pull in here. Get our taxi lights turned off. We'll slow down. And there we go. We'll go ahead and toggle on our brake. All right, and we will do our after parking checks, or after our parking checks. Get our APU bleed open. We'll go overhead here. Parking brake set. Seatbelt sign can come off. No smoking can come off. APU generator switches can come on. Fuel cutoff. Cut our fuel. Go ahead and do that. We'll jump down here. We turn that off. Close that out too. Jump down here. We'll go to menu, FS actions, ground services. We'll set the wheel chocks and we'll request our ground power. Actually, let me go back down there because while we're there, we can also change this to jetway and we can request our jetway as well. All right, we'll go overhead. There's our jetway. It's about to connect. Go overhead. We do have our ground power, so we'll get on our ground power. I don't know why that keeps going off. All right. Okay, so ground power, APU bleed switch can come off, APU can come off, and packs left and right can be set to off. Isolation valve can be set to closed. Probe heats can come off, window heats can come off, hydraulics can come off, yaw damper can come off, anti-collision and wing lights can come off. We'll turn the wheel well lights on for the ground crew, and we are pretty much at our turnaround state. Close that out. Go ahead and jump outside. Take a look at the beautiful scenery here. All right, if you guys enjoyed that flight, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment, definitely share it if you think you know somebody that might like it, and I will catch you guys on the next flight.